Hey everyone, my name is Gina and I'm excited to share my Fodder School for Hop video for the first part of the year. If you don't know what a hop video is, I'd like to share because this is how I found out about Fodder School. A hop is basically a series of videos put together around a theme by different artists that are on a playlist on YouTube. The link to this hop video series will be down below for you so you can have the joy of seeing how all of the artists interpret the projects. Now, the projects themselves in Fodder School, when you join, you have a year-long course with a different instructor every month, a different kind of fodder with a different project. It's so amazing. If you're creatively curious, if you like to try new things, be inspired by all of these different instructors, then Fodder School is amazing. And I'm so excited for every month to come. And you have lifetime access to the curriculum. So if life happens, there's no pressure to do things that that don't fit into your life at this point. So you can always go back and do the class when you can. What I found is that I've been mixing some of the techniques that I'm using in the other projects, which has been so much fun. So there's this thread that goes through. Now, this is my first time doing Fodder School. I've been an artist for years, but I'm in love with Fodder School. One of the things that they encouraged us to consider is taking a color palette. It's just optional, and seeing if you can stick within a palette for the whole year in each project. And I have been playing with that concept, and it is a lot of fun. Obviously, I've gone with ranges within my pinks, purples, turquoises with my neutrals and a yellow. But any combination makes me happy. And that was the thing that I loved about this color idea. Now, they encouraged us to make this book, so I will go through the book with my projects to kind of let you know how I did it. Now, I'm a big note taker, so this is what happened, but the first instructor was Jack Ravi, and it was called The Alchemy of a Memory. And there were so many things that were inspiring. One is making a sigil. It's taking a statement or a concept and putting an image to it to remind yourself. I chose Be Still and Know. I did 2. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. I did 2. And I've used these throughout my other projects. One of the other really cool things he did was called taking your found photos and altering them. We did embroidery. Isn't that fun? Painting over parts of a photo. Weaving. I wove book pages and a little vellum into this photo. I wrote a poem on this photo. I chose blue for the sky and brown for the ground. Kintsugi, which is using gold. It's a Japanese technique of, they used gold to fix cracks in ceramic. And so Jack encouraged us to try it on photos, which I loved. Now this was a fun one too. Obviously the Kintsugi really inspired me. But you can cut things out of a photo. So I cut this man out and I stuck him on a completely different photo. And I used a book page to fill his silhouette. The painting clearly got inspiring to me. I painted a blue sky with clouds on this one. This one I just took a metallic paint and I was kind of obsessed with it. So that is some of the projects that Jack encouraged us to play around with. And I loved it. We also created die bundles, which I'm going to show you what we did with those. We took all kinds of materials, fabric, lace, paper, photos, book pages, whatever you could think of. This is a linen napkin, and I also played with a little bit of watercolor to add to it. So we're just creating fodder with anything found. Paper, photos, napkins, you name it. Book pages, so inspiring. And this is what the final result was. I made 2 of these. They're books. We had to find these old tins, and then we made the books to fit the tins. And if I happen to be a bookmaker, a journal maker, and I just love this project. So here's my little book, book number 1. And it has some photos and some papers. Castile is my maiden name, so I loved the soap in there. There's a stamp of my sigil. all the different things from the dye bath, which I love. It fits right in there. I did a second one. I took, my daughters found at a thrift store like a belt from the 70s that didn't ever get embroidered. And so I made the cover out of a 70s linen belt with the yarn from the 70s, which was pretty brittle, but it was fun to play with. So cookbook spine, photos, ephemera, fabric. I love the fabric. It picked up, you know, we used iron. See, there's a photo that I did kind of, you can see the different things that I've used. There's my sigil on a tea bag. So it's just a really cool, fun project with all mixed media. I had written, I think this might have been a poem, or it might have been my thoughts for the day, and I made a little pocket to tuck it in there. And it just fits beautifully in these little tins. And I had so much fun shopping for these antique tins. The other thing that he did in his Fodder School Challenge is we made these medals. Aren't these the greatest thing ever? You take your found photos, you take found fabrics or whatever, and you do stitching, and you just create these really fun. You take a bottle cap. Oh, I just loved it. Time, capable, glittering, gracious, true happiness. I mean, you can put these on journals. You can stick them on gifts. You could take a picture of someone that you love. Oh, there's just 1,000 ways you can use these. Absolutely loved it. That was November. And then when we got to December, I take December's really slow. So actually Fodder School worked out really well for me in December. Here's all my notes. She had this fun idea of casting with something called plasticine, which I had never played with before. And so I had some old keys. This was a bamboo soap dish. I just love that pattern. I carved this by hand, making it look like wood. This was actually from wood in my backyard. And this was a kind of rattan placemat. And so this plasticine is an oil-based plastic that or kind of clay that you can use to create stamps with. And so here's my cast-off paper, and here's some samples of the fodder that I made, the way the different papers looked and everything. And I absolutely loved how the color scheme worked out. And again, it made me very, very happy.